My dear children, welcome to yet another video of Pratik Sir's English classes. This is the second video of the first chapter of English literature from your Pearson book for the academic year 2020-2021. Do you remember my first video, children? Where I started by making odd faces? Yeah? What was the name of the chapter? Did you get time to revise? Okay, we are going to do a small recap. Let me see how much you remember. Name of the chapter, please. Tom. Okay. Yeah, I'm all ears. You can keep the answers coming to me. Tom. Okay. Has a ache. Fantastic. What ache? Backache? Headache? Toothache, my dear children. Wow, yes. See, you have revised the chapter, that means. So, Tom has a toothache. Fantastic. Who are the characters in the story? The first character is our central protagonist. So, he's the central character, the main hero of our story, and that is a school-going lad by the name Tom Sawyer. And then the second character is his younger brother, whose name is Sid. And the third character is the lady on whom the responsibility of rearing up the children has been entrusted. Right? And what is her name? Her name is Aunt Polly. Yes, she's an old lady, but she doesn't have gray hair, not for nothing. She's very experienced in handling the tantrums and naughtiness of Tom and his brother. However, who do you think is naughtier? Tom or Sid? Tom, right? Okay. Are you through with the concept of Monday blues, my dear children? Did you understand the concept of Monday blues? Well, have you ever given thought why there are no phrases like Tuesday blues or Wednesday blues? Let me tell you, dear children, it's practically okay to experience Monday blues. I won't be shy in admitting that I do have Monday blues at times. You see, given how our life has become today, very mechanical and busy, we only get one Sunday as holiday, right? So, you're supposed to do all the activities other than work on that particular Sunday, which is not always enough. And by the time you are done with Sunday, Monday is already there saying hi to you. So you need to wake up, have your breakfast, pack your bags, and then there is a school bus honking, waiting for you. And then there are 7 to 8 periods in a day, and then it's 3:15, so you're almost tired, right? So all your energy is wasted in one particular day. Is it so? Or do you enjoy coming to school on Monday? Fantastic. So we have different types of people, with different mentalities, but it's practically okay. Okay, it's nothing bad to have Monday blues. It's a part and parcel of life, and it so happens that when you spend a holiday, that is Sunday, it's very difficult to get into the groove and get going on Monday morning with your work or school. So it does happen to people. So it's practically okay. But yes, Tom used to suffer from Monday blues very often, but Sid didn't have the problem. Tom had the problem. And Tom used to cook up health-related excuses so as not to go to school on Monday. And he always thought of convincing his brother and then Aunt Polly so as to make them oblige to his demands. And what were his demands? Plain and simple, not to go to school on Monday. Okay? But as I said, Aunt Polly had been with these children since donkey's years. What's the meaning of donkey's years? It's a phrase, it's a quote. Donkey's years mean a long time. Okay? She's been with this family for a very long time, and she knows the kids well, especially Tom Sawyer. So she knew that Tom would definitely cook up some excuses, tomorrow being Monday. So she was prepared for it. But then when it is health-related excuses, as you can totally understand, your mother or grandmother always gets a little nervous when you complain about any health related symptoms. But later on, they do understand that, oh, these symptoms are coming from a boy or a girl who is very naughty. And then they give you the medicine. Okay, that medicine could be so scary that you might forget all the drama, because that happened in the story. So Tom thought of complaining about a lot of things, okay, which he thought that he would be suffering from, and that included colicky symptoms, symptoms related to your stomach ache, toothache, sore toe where you can't walk because you have pain in your toe, right? But talking about toothache, that was the final complaint, that was the last resort, and aunt understood, right? And she neutralized this grievance very tactfully. She got a silk thread and a fire stick and asked Tom to pull that tooth out once and for all. And then Tom realized how painful that could be, especially when you would have to lose his tooth without any ache. So he went to sleep peacefully and gave up the idea of not going to school because there was no other option left. Fantastic. So that is all about our story. Now, without wasting any more time, let's go to the question answers, my dear children. What did Tom wish to be on a Monday morning? First question. These are short answer type questions. Since Tom hated to go to school on Mondays, he wished that he were sick with some ailments. That's it. What ailment did Tom consider having? Laying on the bed, Tom was thinking about three different things at the same time. Okay, three different health related excuses or ailments. First, colicky symptoms, stomach related problems. Second, toothache and a sore toe. All three at the same time, whichever works. Third question. How did Tom try to get Sid's attention? Tom shook Sid and made him wake up, right? And he started making groaning sounds. Tom started making groaning sounds as if he were in pain. Fourth question. How did Aunt Polly react to Tom's condition? Initially, Aunt Polly's face grew white and her lips trembled. Later, she sank into a chair and showcased nervousness until she realized that Tom was making excuses. So, my dear children, once you go through the chapter and once you understand the theme, it will be very easy to write these answers in your own words. And I appreciate my students to write answers in their own words. Fifth question. What did Aunt Polly want to do to ease Tom's toothache? Why did Tom stop her from doing so? Aunt Polly suggested pulling out Tom's aching tooth with a silk thread and fire stick. However, as Tom was scared by that idea, he gave up his melodrama. Moving on to the next type of questions, which are called context-based questions. In this particular questions, my dear children, you will be given 2 or 3 lines as excerpts from your story. Based on these 2 to 3 lines, you will have some questions. Now, this is normally the CBSE pattern. So, CBSE tries to evaluate your understanding of the chapter based on various types of questions. However, if you are thorough with the concept of the chapter, nothing can stop you, right? So the first question, it's there in your book, part B, okay? Answer these questions with reference to the context. He generally began the day, there's some more lines there, and it ends with, again so much more odious. Which day does the speaker mention here? The speaker mentioned about the first day of the week, that is Monday. What is the word captivity being used to describe here? My dear children, captivity normally means bondage or lack of freedom. Here, captivity is used to describe Tom's depression, which sets upon him as the thought of going to school on Monday seeps in. What does this line tell you about the protagonist? What is the meaning of protagonist? Main character of the story. So what does these lines tell you about the protagonist of the story? The lines tell us that the protagonist is a victim to the concept of Monday blues. Now you are thorough with this concept by now. You know this concept very well. What happens when somebody is suffering from Monday blue? That person lacks the motivation to go to work or to school on Mondays. So that is practically happening with Tom in this chapter. The second excerpt is one line. Tom, why didn't you wake me up sooner? Remember these lines? Yeah. My dear children, this is going to be your homework. I'll give you only one clue. Sid speaks these lines to Tom. Remember, when Tom shook Sid up and woke him up telling that he's in a lot of pain and he might probably die, Sid was in a lot of shock and he uttered this particular word. He uttered this particular sentence, okay, where he said, Tom, why didn't you wake me up sooner? Are you going to die? Great. The third type of question is the think and answer type. Okay, so these are application based questions. These are not direct questions. So if you have understood the chapter, you can actually manipulate your answers here. Why did Tom pretend to be sick? Did Aunt Polly care for Tom? Great. Tell me the answer. Fantastic. Tom was suffering from Monday blues, my dear children. And he didn't want to go to school. Henceforth, he was pretending to be sick. Did Aunt Polly care for Tom? She did care for Tom. Aunt Polly cared for Tom. His outrageousness, okay, that is his arrogance and indisciplined behavior, scared the old lady. And when Tom complained about his aching tooth, that old lady immediately thought of getting a silk thread and a fire stick to pull Tom's tooth out. Okay, so this particular episode shows us that yes, Aunt Polly does care for the children. Second question. Tom wants to skip school, correct? But many children in the world can't afford to go to school. Explain why receiving education is so important today. This is an application-based question, my dear children. Now, CBSE allows you different ways to frame your answers. The traditional and conventional mode of writing answers in literature is the paragraph mode, where you start by taking the word from the question. So you can say the importance of receiving education is, and then you continue writing. Or else you can draft your answer in pointers, okay? So it's like when you were typing in Microsoft Word or when you were making a presentation in PowerPoint, you use bullets, don't you? Same way. You can actually write your answers in bullet formats. That will show your maturity and your grip on this particular language. So I'll always encourage you to write in this way. Once I share these answers along with the notes and mind map in your WhatsApp group and the portal, you will get to see how it is to be done. Okay? As of now, let's discuss it verbally. Education is a must for every child because of the following reasons, my dear children. So they are asking, Tom doesn't want to go to school. However, there are many children who don't get an opportunity to go to school. Why do you think that education is so important? Or why do you think going to school is so important? First point, it makes a child aware and responsible. Second point, it makes a child socially acceptable. When you are seated in a classroom, do we ever discriminate in terms of caste, creed, religion? Do we? No. Divine Providence School talks about care, share and grow. This message itself patronizes the concept of being socially acceptable. Third, it adds to your knowledge base. Now, in the 8 chapters throughout the day, besides your academics, you are also given periods for physical education and music. These subjects in combination develop your holistic personality. Fourth, it teaches us moral values and hygiene. So when we meet somebody in the school who belongs to the non-teaching fraternity, that could be Ayamma who cleans your washrooms, or who comes and cleans your classroom in case if there is a spillage during your tiffin break. We should also treat them like how we treat our teachers or members of the management team, right? For fifth, it equips a child with decision-making prowess. What is a decision-making power? You see, your parents or guardians won't be there accompanying you at every time in your life, isn't it? But however, it's also important that you make decisions in their absence, because now you're growing up, okay? You are no more kids. So when you come to a school, there will be a lot of situations where you will have to make your own decisions. So coming to school equips you with that particular prowess. Fifth is done. Sixth, it makes a child future ready, okay? For example, now we are having classes on an entirely new platform for most of you. That's a virtual platform. Are our classes stopping? Is there any impediment? No. So when you actually join a venture which is new, you get experience out of it. So coming to school also teaches you to embrace change readily. Remember, Charles Darwin once said, survival of the fittest? Today, a person who is a jack of all trades, that is a person who knows practically everything under the sky, is the one who is most successful. Finally, going to school teaches you discipline, courteousness, and time management as a child. Every human being practically has got 24 hours in a day, but it totally depends on how a person effectively utilizes this time, right? So coming to school not only teaches you academics, but it also shapes up your personality. Having said that, my dear children, keep studying. Your grammar essentials of this particular chapter will be discussed by your grammar faculty at a different point in time. The literature part is complete. So we have discussed the chapter at large in the first video, and the second video was all about your question and answers, right? With that, now you need to sit back and study. I hope you are allocating different times in a day for all your subjects. In case of any query, I'm always there for any help. You can always text your query underneath this video in the comment section, or you can post it in the WhatsApp group. And remember, at the end of every chapter, you'll be having a unit test. So please prepare for it. Okay, guys? With that message, God bless you. Take care.